Mr. Walker is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a list of questions, but I really don't even know what to say after listening to your testimony. In any arena or industry, when changes have to be made, there's usually someone that has to be the first person to walk through a very painful time. You didn't deserve it. You didn't ask for it. But I applaud your courage for being willing to do your best to see that changes are implemented. I can only hope that you have a very strong support group, whether it's through your faith or family or others, that continue to lift you up of all the hellacious things and comments and really beratement that you've went through. So I do applaud your courage for that today, and I'm glad you're here, Ms. Shannon Reed.
Thank you.
The Forest Service, Chief Christensen, has an important mission, certainly particular in light of the large fires that have ravaged the West in recent years. The agency also needs to attract talented, experienced employees. Have concerns surrounding the agency's ability to address sexual harassment and workplace misconduct hindered recruitment efforts or decreased applications to positions at the agency, particularly among the prospective female employees?
Thank you, Congressman. Having a safe, respectful work environment for every employee is absolutely essential to achieving our core mission. You couldn't be more spot on. And that's why we are so committed to this work. We have not seen a declining trend in our applicant pool because we are breaking the silence. We are opening up and saying, we have improvements to do. We have done some good work, and it's not enough. Yeah. We are doing more.
As a young pastor in my 20s, I remember sitting at the mega church I was privileged to serve at, and Dr. Gary Chapman, after I laid out my wonderful goals and objectives, the simple question that he asked me, well, how do you plan to accomplish all those lofty goals? So moving forward, are there any other steps Congress needs to take to assist you in accomplishing these lofty goals that you have to have a sexual harassment-free environment?
Yes, thank you, Congressman. There are things that you could certainly help us with. Untangling the Privacy Act, I'd say, is one of the first things. What we heard in the Listen and Learn is employees are frustrated. They can't get to the bottom line of what is happening, who's being held accountable, and what actions were taken.
Let me ask you, you said they isn't it you now? I mean, when you say they can't get to the bottom line, who can't get to the bottom line?
Employees don't have access. They want more access to information.
Why don't they have access?
The Privacy Act prohibits us from publishing the misconduct, the specific misconduct findings of an individual, and certainly then what penalty or discipline they received.
I don't know that I'm completely follow the Privacy Act as far as one that's a cover for not exposing and going after those who have criminally broken the law, but maybe some of my other colleagues can delve into that a little bit. Are there any additional steps that you guys, Forest Service, Chief Christensen, is considering taking to specifically address sexual harassment, misconduct, or retaliation? And let me add to this, and I'll let you answer both questions. As the chief, obviously when you're in charge of something, there comes great responsibility. What message do you have for victims of sexual harassment and assault at the Forest Service? I'd like to hear from you specifically in those two areas.
To answer your last question first, my response is that what I am going to keep repeating, because I believe so deeply in my heart, we will not stop until everyone has a respectful, harassment-free workplace where every individual has an opportunity to thrive. Sure. And we are working on multi-pronged approach. It is absolutely accountability. We've put processes, structures, and system in place. They still need improvement, but we've put a lot in the last year. We're also working on victim advocacy and support because it's so sure. Untenable that the folks need a place to go and sort this out and how to build confidence that we can work on conflict
Sure.
early in the
My last
workplace.
question is this, I guess my comment is, we want to hear as a committee, these are the 3 things that we're going to do. These are the 5 things that we can do. My last question is, do you believe these things happen to Ms. Shannon Reed?
Congressman, I know this is difficult for Ms. Reed. I am just unable to comment on specific cases.
Thank you. You're back, Chair.
Gentleman yields back. The gentlelady from the District of Columbia is recognized.